Human body, a look from the inside. Our internal organs can be grouped into several systems. For example, blood, nervous, digestive, respiratory, excretory, reproductive, endocrine, and locomotor. They are closely related, and many organs belong to several systems simultaneously. For example, the kidneys cleanse the blood and also produce hormones. All internal organs are well protected. Skeletal elements, muscles, such as the abdominal cavity, fluids, such as the fluid surrounding the brain, as well as fat and skin protect them against injuries. The latter also protect us from chilling or overheating and from water loss. In the human body, as in any well-organized enterprise, the order is supervised by the boss, the brain. It controls the functioning of the whole body, and it is responsible for thoughts, feelings, and memory. The brain consists of two hemispheres. The left one, dominant among scientists and exacting minds, is responsible for logical, analytical thinking, creating sentences that we utter, and seeing details of objects. The right hemisphere, dominant among artists and humanists, is responsible for imagination, intuition, sense of rhythm, color perception, and seeing the outline of objects. The central part of the chest is occupied by the heart. Together with blood vessels, it ensures the transport of substances in the body. The heart is the size of a clenched fist, shrinking 100,000 times a day and pumping around 10,000 liters of blood. The heart is surrounded on both sides by the lungs, which are our air conditioners. The lungs are made up of 5 lobes. The left lung consists of 2 lobes, and the right lung consists of 3. The lungs have a vesicular structure. In an adult, they can hold about 5 liters of air. For women, they hold 3.2 liters on average, and for men, 4 liters. However, the lung capacity of athletes can be up to 7 liters. Man breathes on an average 16 to 24 times a minute, exchanging only 0.35 to 0.5 liters of air each time. This means that the remaining few liters of gas in the lungs remain in them for more than one breath. The abdominal cavity is filled mainly with organs of the digestive system: stomach, duodenum, liver, pancreas, and intestines. The stomach is a flexible sac for all the food we eat. In the stomach, food is treated with gastric juice, a mixture of hydrochloric acid and enzymes. Hydrochloric acid kills bacteria. The walls of the stomach are covered with special mucus, which protects them against the effects of their corrosive secretions. Digested food goes to the duodenum, which is the first segment of the small intestine. Further digestion of proteins, sugars, and fats take place here due to the pancreas secreting digestive enzymes and the liver secreting bile. The bile produced by the liver is stored in the gallbladder and is released into the duodenum during a meal. The liver lies just below the diaphragm on the right side of the abdominal cavity, and in addition to bile production, is also responsible for the production and secretion of almost all plasma proteins into the blood, stores glycogen, fats, vitamins, and iron. It also ensures that blood does not provide poisonous components to the body. The liver is essential to life. Its extensive damage caused by toxins such as alcohol, drugs, viruses, or parasites leads to death. The pancreas is located on the posterior wall of the abdominal cavity at the height of the first lumbar vertebra. During the day, it releases about 2.5 liters of liquid containing a large number of enzymes that digest proteins, sugars, and fats into the duodenum. The pancreas also secretes hormones that regulate blood sugar, such as insulin and glucagon. The distal part of the digestive tract, visible in the abdomen, the small intestine, and the large intestine, are responsible for the absorption of substances from the digestive system. In the small intestine, the products resulting from digestion are absorbed, and in the large intestine, water and electrolytes and feces are also produced. The intestines can be compared to a terry towel because they have a very large absorbent surface due to the presence of villi. Other internal organs unrelated to the digestive system and visible in the abdominal cavity are the kidneys and spleens. The spleen watches over the condition of your red blood cells. It also is called the cemetery of the body. For example, the place of removal of defective and dead erythrocytes. During the fetal life, new erythrocytes are produced in the spleen. It is also the largest bodyguard, the largest organ of the lymphatic system, and is responsible for the production of immunoglobulins, a specific type of protein responsible for the body's immunity. There may be more than one spleen in the human body. The kidneys are the sewage treatment plant. They filter blood and excrete excess water, mineral salts, and other substances that are unnecessary and or harmful to health. They are also responsible for maintaining a constant volume, osmotic pressure, and electrolyte composition of body fluids. The aqueous solutions of substance found outside living cells, which are one of the main components of the organism in terms of mass and volume. Although the kidneys are an even organ, only one kidney is sufficient for the body to function properly. During the day, about 170 liters of fluid flow through the kidneys, primary urine. After filtering into the bladder, about 1.5 liters of urine passes through the ureters, which is excreted through the urethra. The study of the internal body structure is one of the oldest biology disciplines. Anatomy has been developing since the 5th century BC. The most prominent representative of this science in ancient times was Hippocrates, from the 5th to the 4th centuries before Christ. The development of modern anatomy was initiated by the Flemish scholar Andreas Vesalius, 1514 to 1564. Anatomy was a descriptive science for a long time, and an autopsy was used to study the human body. This changed in January 1896 when the German scientist Wilhelm K. Röntgen presented his brilliant discovery to the world: X-rays. The discovery of Röntgen's X-rays revolutionized medicine. Thanks to it, it was possible to view human bones and some organs without using a scalpel. In the same year, the Polish surgeon Alfred Obolinski recognized an elbow dislocation based on an X-ray. The next big step in the history of anatomy was organ transplantation. The first transplant was made by Boston physicians Joseph Murray and John Merrill in 1954. The transplanted organ was a kidney. Today, Modern techniques allow almost every internal organ to be viewed without surgical intervention. In addition to X-ray images, among others, ultrasound, USG, in which high-frequency waves can be used. They enter our body and bounce off internal organs. The reflections are produced by the computer and displayed on the monitor. Another method is the magnetic resonance imaging, which allows you to obtain a three-dimensional image. X-rays were largely replaced here with a very strong electromagnetic field. Computer tomography uses X-rays, but allows you to obtain a three-dimensional image of cross-sections of our body. The patient is placed in the scanner tunnel while the X-ray machine rotates around him and takes not one, but hundreds of pictures during the examination. The computer processes the obtained images in a three-dimensional image of the body cross-section. Direct view of the internal organs is possible thanks to fiberopia. This allows flexibility on the tube terminated with an optical device that sends the image to the computer. It is introduced into the body through the mouth, the patient's anus, or a small surgical incision.